bit of a packed stream. We're gonna start off with, I know it wasn't that long ago from when we got the September one, but that was just because I hadn't realized I'd gotten it. So this is the one from October, from the Oct Sigh. I know it's a little bit, well, we'll do this, which should be the main sort of segment. Um, this is from a set from, actually haven't looked up the value of a box or anything. But this is from a couple years back when I first sort of, I think I'd heard of Weiss before. I didn't realize it was actually a thing in the States. Um, there is a sort of cutout there, but I'm not sure if I want to open that there. This is my first time actually opening any Weiss. Now, I'm unsure. Um, this, because of how it's, well, let's take a look. So there's 2 secrets, 5 specials, 7 triple rares, and 18 super rares. Yeah, that's, Weiss goes kind of all out with the different rarities. I believe these secrets are guaranteed for once a case, which I believe a case is something like 15 boxes. So I really don't know really much about the actual. Is that a full pack? Yeah. Really don't know anything about how the actual, which I guess is sort of par on the course. Now, I believe, I don't know, like I said earlier, um, about particular value of this set, whether it's the whole boxes or the individual cards from this set. Oh, so our first sort of foil there. That's interesting foiling on, which I know Weiss does do a lot of interesting sort of foiling. I'm not sure what actual rarity that is. I'm assuming it's just a regular rare. I feel like these pull tabs are sort of hit and miss. I think like so far, it's only one that's really worked. Got a lot of these That's my big brother for you cards. So wait, that is pretty amusing. Okay, second. But I don't think this is a particularly well-known franchise. I'd sort of heard of it, but it's not my favorite itself. I suppose, I think at the time I bought it, I sort of remembered vaguely thinking it was okay, but after I bought it, it was like, it is a surprisingly long-going series as well. I had bought or watched but I couldn't stand it. I think it was either a movie or the fifth season, or maybe fourth season. I don't remember. I think I only watched the first three. It's a surprisingly long series. 'Cause I don't think it's actually that popular, at least in the States. Oh, it's just, yeah, I don't, again, I really don't know the rarities here. Though, I mean, it looks like we are getting kits, which is something to be worried about, particularly in Vice, because of the nature of the sort of case-based rarities. Vice in particular, I know, is notorious for sellers mapping out the case and taking the case hit and then just selling the rest at a discount because the sort of upper echelon of rarities can go for hundreds to thousands of dollars, and so any loss they take is mitigated for that. And I did get these fairly cheaply, but I believe not insanely cheap, like in the range that you really have to be worried about, because oftentimes you'll see those sort of worrisome cases or boxes in like the $30 to $40 range, which I might have paid mid 40s for this, but it was during 2020, which is, but yeah, we do, I think these are just, really can't tell what rarity this is actually supposed to be, but I think these are just more or less the normal rares. But it's still nice to see. But again, this is the first time I'm opening any Vice, so I really don't know what to expect. And unlike most games where rarity is more or less set in stone unless a drastic change happens, I do know that is a very interesting contrast. Is that? I think it's. I think that is a different foiling. I thought it was just sort of because of the background. But I believe Vice does actually, in contrast to a lot of other games, change up the rarities quite often from set to set. Looks like we're more or less about halfway through. good that the pull tabs do seem to be working better than they were to start. Um, yeah, that must be just like the normal rear slot. Yeah, I have no idea why they have that horizontal slot. Is there like a second deck you play? I know Sorcery is like that with their sight cards that are also horizontal like that, that there's just I'm a little bit paranoid. It kind of looks dark, but I'm not sure whether that's just the screen, because that's often the case, but there was a VOD I put up the other day, the Unidentified Fantastic Object one, and it actually did just look dark for some reason. And a lot of the cards, and it's really disappointing because I felt like a lot of the foils were really great, but it just didn't show off that at all. I think that's just a normal one, but yeah, I don't know why they have these sort of horizontal things, but I think that is a thing with like all sets. Yeah, why I picked it today, it's more or less why I picked this set out. To begin with, it was sort of like the cheapest available that I was vaguely familiar with the franchise. I do have a couple other sets, but I'm not sure how much Weiss I actually want to open, as I feel like those ones have aged quite a bit better. Like the Slime and like the Love is War one, which were, even during peak COVID, not sold at really any of a discount. The last set, which is probably the one I'm most heavily in, is, I'm not sure if they've done a second one. Weiss does often do reprint sets or revisit the same franchises multiple times. But the first HoloLens set is probably the one I have the most. Oh, so this is, we've got a foil of this slot. So that's interesting. So we are down to our last three sets. It looks like we've only hit one or two of the higher rarities, at least that I could tell. Most of it looked like that just normal patchwork foiling. Is the, if it's the horizontal card, is that a separate rarity if it's foil? That I'm not sure. I think we've pulled that one before. Well, I just took a peek at the box topper, and I'm not sure if I can show it here, so I'll just have to post that after. Another very sparkly card. That'd be interesting if, and unfortunately that looks like a pretty boring final card. I did enjoy this. I wasn't expecting to enjoy this one that much because, again, my feelings of the franchise are mostly neutral to mildly negative. I should probably properly look at how it's aged. So it's a bit of a departure from our usual format, but we'll go ahead and do the reading. Going to save the sort of last bit for, well, for last, as it's something I've been looking forward to doing, having an excuse to do for a while. And I messaged about it in August. I really believe it when I looked at the original post, but I declared I'd do it in August if the criteria, which was, I believe, Illy were claiming 0.0096 was met. And earlier this week, maybe it was last week actually at this point, it did, but it just ended up being too hard to work it in. But we should have some extra time at the end to do it. So I have two questions myself, and then if there's any questions. I really need to see if Jamie's done more readings, because I tried copying her shuffling, and at first I thought it did okay, but when we opened, this one was opened already, but I hadn't ever used it. These last two decks, it was very suspect, the result, as in several instances it kind of just came out in order. So I think I need to rewatch how she was doing things before attempting that again myself. So, question one is, will Art School Reject regret pumping bumping Goon? The second question, somewhat related to it, is will I regret holding on to it despite her having bumped it? that it's going to turn out dark again. Um, that is reversed. That's interesting, since it's more or less, I guess. And I guess it doesn't really matter which way. But yeah, so those were my two questions, and it doesn't look like we got any others. So finally, what I said I'd do to celebrate Illy is I've been having, I thought I had two more. Well, I was going to save them for the next Valentine's Day anyways, but these are but there's like worrying that I can't find the others. But these are the sort of Valentine's Day not really mini sets, I guess. Yeah, the Valentine's Day mini set that MetaZoo did. I'm not sure if they ever reprinted this one. I know the several of the other holiday sets they did were reprinted. I had thought until recently that this was the origination of the Chibi MetaZoo cards, but it turned out when we did our second edition opening that it's pretty, see, it might not have any battery left because I don't think I charged it in a while because I was using the other device for the last few days. I am not sure whether these are fixed or not. I've opened two in the past. I gave one to family members and I gave one to friends, and oh no, looks like they aren't. In both cases, we got basically the same cards. So I had thought perhaps it was fixed, but it looks like that isn't the case. Oh, I'm not sure if I've ever seen this one from the others I've opened. I do quite like it. I really like the colors in the background. But yeah, this is probably actually, hands down, my favorite product that they've that they did, that, or at least any of that I bought. And revisiting it, I think I feel the same way. It is kind of ironic that we ended up doing it today, though, since Illy sort of has dipped overnight. So it actually isn't at the strike target right now, but it has been for the past few days. Oh, I'm not sure if I got this one before either. I actually really love this. Chibi Death Beam. If you're wearing black on February 14th, this attack deals plus 100 damage. The Grim Reaper cannot save the one person it loved, so it chose to never love again out of future heartbreak. I should probably read the Bunny Man. When the Bunny Man first put on the suit, an overwhelming bloodlust consumed it. It found a tunnel it liked, sat down, and waited patiently for its first victim. and the Frogman. The Loveland Wizard had to start life all over again after he was transformed into Loveman Frogman. Thankfully, he got to keep his magic after he was transfigured. Oh. I'm guessing these got all the luck. I was actually, because I thought, at least with the ones I opened before, only about half were even foil. So it looks like, especially I imagine, at least the Frogman in particular, well, when MetaZoo was still a thing, might have been quite a desirable find, considering its popularity in general. But that's all I've got planned for today. I'm really happy we were finally able to do this. Also, I'm just really happy with Illy in general right now. I think tomorrow the plan is for starting the next mothership module, which is, I believe, a pound of flesh. I'm not sure how I got spoiled. I think maybe it's just reading the store description, but this one is a bit different, as I believe the entirety of it is contained on a space station. So I'm really looking forward to starting that tomorrow. Probably no additional stream later tonight.